Hello, welcome back to LetsPro's Aptitude sessions. I'm your mentor Simona. I hope you're all doing well, and I also hope that you've gone through what we've done in the previous classes. If you haven't, please make sure that you go through all the mathematical portions, all the whatever is covered from the reasoning part, the logical part. So in today's module, or in this module precisely, we will be looking at series completion. So this comes under your logical and reasoning part, which is again a little bit of essentials which when it comes to placement training, because they want to understand how the reasoning part of your mind works, right? Because we do not want rough people in our people who do not reason well with questions. We don't want people to react to certain things. We want people to respond well, right? So all of this is basically going to tell us from all these mathematical portions of your brain, right? So what are we looking at today? Today we are looking at series completion. I'll tell you more about this. So what are the things that we are looking at today? We are basically seeing the types here of series. We are seeing numbers. We're seeing number series. We're seeing alphabet series. We're also seeing alphanumerical series. So, or alphanumeric series. Number series, you all know what numbers are, right? So based on the numbers, you will have certain series. Alphabet series. Now, if you remember from our previous modules, I had told you that we assign numbers to each alphabet. For example, B is 2. How is it 2? Because A is 1, B is 2. Or I can also say B is 25 if I reverse take the numbers, right? So that comes under the alphabet series. Then we have alphanumeric. So both of them put together would be called as your alphanumeric series. I hope so much is understood. Next, we understand what is the importance of this particular scenario, right? So this is very common in AMCAT, CoCubes and TCS NQT, because like I said, they would want to understand how the logical and reasoning part of your brain works. So this part is very important. Then tests pattern recognition, logical thinking, as well as speed, because for a given amount of time you will have quite a lot of questions to solve. So how well is your brain working when it comes to pressure, right? So they would want to understand this. Now what are the objective of this? Understand and identify various patterns. Then there is solve problems using logic, not brute force. Now what does this brute force mean? Now all of us are so aligned to knowing formulae and all of that we tend to forget that we actually have some kind of common sense that is supposed to be used, right? So that's what we're trying to say by not using brute force, right? So use your common sense as much as possible, because in the long run that's the only thing that helps you withstand whatever is coming for you, right, or coming at you. All right, so let's understand the concept of number series now. What is this number series, right? So it is a sequence of numbers following a specific pattern. Like I said, now for example, how do we say odd numbers? We are seeing there's a pattern. Every number has a difference of 2, right? So 1, 3, 5, then there is 7. So 7 minus 5 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2, 3 minus 1 is 2. So there's a pattern. So that's what we are saying, that there's a specific patterns that is followed. Now types of pattern can be arithmetic, which is addition and subtraction. It can be geometric, which can be multiplication and division. Then there is square, so cubes. Alternating pattern, for example, there is +1, the next number would be -1, again +1, -1, numbers like that, right? And there can also be mixed pattern. Now what is the tip that I have for you? Look at the difference or ratio between numbers first. So that is the major tip I give every student of mine. That's called arithmetic or geometric, right? So as soon as you see a series, as soon as you see that, you will see like, okay, what do I do now? First check the difference as soon as possible. Next, if series is not, sorry, the addition, subtraction, the arithmetic is not working, then what we'll do, we'll go to the geometric part. So how does geometric part work? We either multiply or divide. So we tend to doing that, right? So that's when we understand, okay, so this is a series, there's a pattern, so this number would be easier, right? So that is a common sense type of a problem, right? All right, let's get into the first part of the questions. Here it says there is a series given to you, which is simply 2, 4, 8 and 16, right? So what would be the next number? Let's pick a pen for you. Okay, all right. Now if you see, I told you first either check the differences or the ratios, right? Let's first go ahead with the differences. Now 4 minus 2 is, sorry, I can just say, all right, this is the eraser. Okay, from here to here there is plus 2, here to here there is plus 4, whereas here to here there is plus 8. So you see there is some kind of geometric pattern being followed. 2 is being multiplied, right? So the next number would be 16 into 2, which is ideally 32. So that's your final answer, right? All right. Let's go to the next question. What is the next question? Okay. So there is a series which is 10, 20, 30, 50 and 80. We're supposed to find out the next number. Now there is one point that I would want you to note. There is something called as a Fibonacci series or Fibonacci. Anything that you want to call it as. Fibonacci series. Right? So in this, what are we trying to do? We have one number, we add it to the previous number. Let's start from 0 and 2 numbers are given to us. The next number would be the addition of these 2. The next number would be addition of these 3, which is 3. The next number would be addition of these 2, which is 3, right? Again, the next number would be addition of this. The next number would be addition of this. Again, the next number would be the addition of the last 2 digits, which is again 13. Right? So if you see, this is also sort of following the same pattern, right? So if you see here, let me use an eraser, one moment. Right. So if you see, here also I have 1. So here it starts from this particular position, but we started at this, right? So it starts at 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. What is the next number? Again, it is nothing but 130. So you should know all of this. How are you going to know all of this? Just read a lot of stuff that is given to you, right? So make sure that you are going through a bit of your general knowledge questions also. That way it is going to help you quite a lot, right? Alright, let's move on to the next question. What is given to us? Number series problem 3. There is a series which says 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. As soon as, so you remember I told you, I asked you to remember all the squares till 30 and cubes till 10 in the very first class. So if you would remember that, as soon as you see at this particular series, you would know that this is a square series, right? So if you see, I have 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. What would be the next number? Ideally, simply 6 square, which is equal to 36. So that's your final answer. Right? So that's why it's essential that you go through the basics. Only then you would be able to answer. I'm sorry. All right. One moment, please. Okay. Let's now quickly get into the next problem. So number series problem 5, we have a series which says 2, 5, 8 and then we have 12, we have 17. Now there is no particular pattern that is being followed, or is there a pattern being followed? First thing I told you, always check for the differences or the next number that is there, right? If that is not, if you don't see a pattern, then what do? Either go to multiplication or division, right? Now let's check with addition. So 2 plus 1, then I have 3 plus 2, then 5 plus 3, then I have 8 plus 4. And as soon as I see this, I am seeing that there is some kind of pattern that is being followed, right? So if you see, there is 1, 2, 3, then there is 5. What would be the next number? Ideally, just as simple as 17 plus 6, which is nothing but 23. So that's your final solution. I hope so much is understood. Now we will quickly get into a next topic, which is our alphabet series. Now what is this alphabet series? Let's understand the concept first. So there are sequences with letters following a logical pattern. Right? Just like our numbers had a logical pattern, there was some sort of pattern that was being followed. Here also we will have some sort of logical pattern. What are the patterns? The patterns can be position of the letters, then there can be skipping letters, then there can also be alternating sequences, right? So I'll tell you about all of these when we do our problems. What's the tip? See, I told you, remember, you have to convert all the alphabets into numbers. So convert letters to numbers to identify pattern, right? So this is something that you need to know, practice a lot so that you remember, okay, so if I say S, I am talking about 19 as a number, right? So things like that are supposed to be very important. Make sure you sit one day and spend a bit of time understanding that kind of pattern. Right? Okay, we have our next question. Let's quickly get into that. Okay, so there is A, there is C, there is E, there is G. Now if you see, from A to C, there is, in between there is B. Now C to E, there is again F, right? Then G to E and then F, here I have D, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What would be the next number? We are skipping one number. So next is H. So the next number would be simply I. Right? So we are basically skipping a number. Right? Alright. I hope that was understood. Let's quickly get into the next problem. Here again we have a series, right? So there is Z, there is X, there is V, there is T. Now what is the pattern that is being followed? Now if you see, Z is nothing but 26, right? X is nothing but 24, right? And then we have V, which is nothing but 22, T is nothing but 20, so the next number should be 18. Now I told you S, I was just telling you about all of this, so S was ideally 19, which means R is going to be 18, so our solution is nothing but R, right? Alright, let's go to the next problem. Okay. Alright. So now if you see, quickly look at this, you have B, D, G and K, right? So B is in the second position. I know D is at the fourth position. Let's quickly check. G is at the 7th position, right? And where is K at? Where K is nothing but at 11, right? So if you see, there is a pattern. 2 to 4, there is 2 difference. 4 to 7, there is 3 difference. 7 to 11, there is 4 difference. So next number should have difference of 5. So 11 plus 5 would nothing but be 16. What is the letter that is at the 16th position, right? Think about it. It is very simple. P. Right? So as simple as that. So you need to know at what position what particular alphabet is lying, right? Alright. Okay. Now we have the next series which says M, N, P and S, right? So remember I told you S was 19, P we just did in the previous problem, which was nothing but 16. Now N is nothing but 14 and I have M to be equal to 13. Now if you see, what is the pattern? So 13, there is difference of 1, then there is difference of 2, then there is difference of 3, then ideally there should be a difference of 4, which is nothing but 23. What is the letter which is at 23rd position? It is nothing but RW. Alright, so make sure, my only request to you is make sure you know at what position what letter lies. Otherwise it would be very difficult for you to even understand what's happening here, right? Alright, now let's move on to the next problem. Okay, we have CEHL, right? Okay, so C is nothing but at the 3rd position, right? E is at the 5th position, H is at the 8th position and L is at the 12th position. Now check what is the difference. From here to here there is a difference of 2, right? From here to here there is a difference of 3, then from here to here there is a difference of 4. So the next number would have a difference of what? 5, right? Which is equal to 17. 17 is what? We found out 18 to be P, so a number before that is nothing but our Q. Alright, sorry, P was 16, so that means Q would ideally be equal to 17. Alright. So that is all we have from alphabet series. Let's now quickly get into the alphanumeric series. So now what are we seeing here? I told you in the very beginning, there is alphabet series, there is number series. We combine them together, we get alphanumeric series, right? So what is this? Combines numbers and letters in a sequence, requires pattern recognition across both types, two types, right? Tip: separate letters and numbers, look for individual patterns, right? So what will you be doing? First look at the letters, then look at the numbers, or vice versa, whatever you're comfortable with. Based on that, we will be quickly finishing it, right? Let's get into problems quickly. Let me pick a different color for you. I just got bored with using simple blues. Anyways, so we have A1, B2, C3, D4. This is relatively very simple, right? So the next number would be E5. As simple as that. They're just telling us at what position what letter is lying, right? Okay, so let's get into the next problem, which is, okay, there is Z9, there is Y8, there is X. So if you see, this is one digit lesser, right? There is XYZ, so W. So your letter would be simply W. Now there is a difference of 1, 1, 1 here. So the now next number would be nothing but W6. All right. Okay. Next, let's get into the next problem. We have A2, C4, E6 and G8. If you see, they are all even numbers. So the next number would be 10. Right? And if you see, we have A, we are skipping B, then we are skipping D, then what are we doing? We are skipping F. So that means we should be ideally skipping H and writing I. So I10 is your next solution, right? Okay. Next, let's get into the next quick problem. As soon as you see the numbers, you're seeing they are odd numbers. 1, 3, 5. There should be 7 here, right? So we have B, D. So in between B, we have C. D to E, D to F, we have E. F next would be G. So your ideal solution is H7. So we are skipping every letter there, right? So H7 is your final answer. All right. Now, we have M20, we have L18, we have K16. So what's happening here? We are just subtracting by 2. So the next number would have a number with 14, right? What is the letter that should be added here? So M to here, if you see, LMN. So KLM. So before that, I just have J. JKLM, right? 14, 16, 18 and 20. So that's how it works. All right. Next. All right. So we have already come to the end of this particular module. I hope you have enjoyed it. All I request you to do is understand at what position the letters lie. From 1 to 26 you will know A to Z. From Z to A you will know 26 to 1. All the positions like that, right? And when you are recognizing patterns, make sure you understand what is happening, right? So recognize that particular pattern. When alphanumeric comes, all you will have to do is check for different patterns individually, right? So summary here, number series, check differences, ratios, squares or cubes. Alphabet series, we had convert letters to numbers for position tracking, right? Alphanumeric, separate patterns for letters and numbers. Always look for consistency in changes, and practice increases pattern recognition speed. So I know it myself because I have also struggled in all of this, right? So that doesn't mean I am not good at it right now. Right now I can solve any sort of problem given to me. So therefore, make sure you are practicing as much as you can. You write it down at some particular position. Practice so much that you don't have to by heart it, right? Okay, all the very best. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and visit this particular video again and again whenever you have doubts. Drop in your questions in the comment and I'll see you in the next module. Thank you.